Hello everyone, my name is Mrs. Vishakha Sherke. I am working as Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Engineering at Universal College of Engineering. In today's session, I am going to teach about the knowledge inference in artificial intelligence. So first of all, uh, for that, as you are aware that in artificial intelligence, there is a term called as a agent. Okay, agent can be any object, agent can be a program, agent can be any entity which performs some action based upon the perception it receives from the environment. Okay, generally, agent programs receive the perception about the current state with the help of sensor. Okay, and then after processing, after understanding what kind of perception it is, it performs the action based upon the using actuator. Okay, there are different types of agents like goal based agent, model based agent, simple agent, reflex agent. Okay, so one of the agent is knowledge based agent. Okay, where it includes the knowledge base and inference system. Okay, now what do you mean by the knowledge base? Knowledge base is nothing but the facts or the things which are stored related to one particular problem. For example, if you want to store the knowledge about C programming, okay, then all its syntax, small programs, then information about function, that you will store with in the knowledge base. Okay, similarly, if we consider knowledge base of Java programming, then definitely we will store information about inheritance, class, polymorphism, or packages, then different utility packages, thread, that all those things we will store. Okay, so similarly a knowledge base related it is nothing but the set of information, set of sentences related to that particular domain. Okay, now here we always in terms of agent, we always consider the outside environment as the world. Okay, so that's why this statement is mentioned here. Knowledge base is nothing but the set of representations of facts. Facts are nothing but the sentences. Okay, now in knowledge base, every single sentence or representation is called as the sentence. Okay, like whatever simple, today is Sunday. Okay, it is holiday. Likewise, these presentations are called as the sentences. Now these sentences can be represented with the help of different programming language. Okay, like logic programming is there, Prolog programming is there, then with the help of propositional logic or first order logic, predicative language. So these are the different languages representation is used to represent the individual sentences. Now, what are the two main tasks the knowledge based agent perform? So first of all, now it is just like a structure. Okay, where as I told you that agent mainly work on the perception and it performs the action. So it tells the knowledge base what it perceives. Okay, whatever the information is gathered, that is given to the knowledge base with the help of procedure tell. Okay, then at the same time, now I have received the perception, but what action I have to do? So it asks the knowledge base that what action it should perform, and then it knowledge base gives the action that is performed by the knowledge based agent. So generally, now in this procedure, when you are asking knowledge base what action we have to do, one thing is used that is called as the inference engine. Okay, so this inference engine applies the logical rules to the knowledge base and it deduces the new information, or it gives the conclusion or any information which you have asked to the knowledge base. So in our today's topic, what we are going to learn, we are going to learn about the inference. Okay, about the facts. Okay, using propositional logic. So that's why I have explained this knowledge based agent. Now Next thing, let's move on towards the representation of propositional logic. Okay, it is very simple logic. It is the logic which is represented by the single symbol. Okay, so what are the different syntax if you want to form the sentences using propositional logic? So this particular symbol represents the not. Okay, in our sentences there may be negation, there may be conjunction, there may be disjunction. Okay, there may be implication, and there may be bicondition. So these are the different symbols are used to represent the propositional logic. So this particular symbol represents the not. Suppose I want to say today is not, it is not Sunday. So I will just represent this by not P. Okay, where I will P is a symbol represents it is Sunday. Now next is and. If you are combining the two sentences, then we use this conjunction. If you want either one, if you are combining the two sentences and you want either one sentence, okay, he likes apple, okay, or grapes. So in that case, we will use this disjunction symbol. Next is implication. Okay, if your sentence have the clause like if it is Sunday, then it is holiday, then the second it implies. Okay, then there is the relation, that is the implication. Okay, what exactly means by the implication? There are two sentences, okay, are related to each other. So that's why whenever our knowledge base or our sentences, facts follows this condition, if then we uses the implication symbol, where it means that P implies Q. It means if P is true, then Q is also true. Okay, next is bicondition. Sometimes there may be the possibility that your sentence will have if and only if. Okay, so in that case you have to use the bicondition. Next rule are the different rules we can apply, like De Morgan's law or distributive property law. So let's see the De Morgan's law. If we apply this is the De Morgan's law. Like example, if we negate the P and Q, then what will happen? This negation symbol goes inside. Okay, so that thing will become negation of P. Now here instead of and that symbol becomes the or, and then negation of Q. Similarly, the second law, same thing, instead of the and we use the or symbol, that is a disjunction, so that becomes not P and not Q. If we apply the negation, then what will happen? Negation will get cancelled, so that particular rule, that fact will remain the same. Similarly, distributive property we can apply. We will see somewhere we will require it. So if you apply the distributive property, what will happen in this case, where P and Q or R, then what will happen? This first term will get together. Okay, the P and Q, and this or symbol will remain, and P and R. So these are the different rules we will apply. Now, before applying the resolution, we need to understand the conjunction normal form. So let's understand what are the rules for converting the conjunction normal form. So first of all, in conjunction normal form, you have to remove when you are converting the given fact or sentence into CNF, you have to remove the bicondition symbol. So how you can remove the bicondition symbol? So in CNF, P implies Q will be represented as P implies Q and Q implies P. Okay, then second rule is that you have to remove this implication. So how this implication is removed? If sentence is P implies Q, then you will apply not P or Q. Okay, how we will reply? P implies Q is equivalent with the not P or Q in the CNF. Similarly, if there are more negative symbol negation, then take negation inside. If we apply negation, then you can see here negation of negation P will becomes P. Negation of P and Q, that will become negation P, this symbol, and becomes or, and this negation will applies to inside symbol also. Next, as I am telling, the next topic is resolution. Okay, how the facts, as we have seen that inference engine is a component, okay, that applies the logical rules and reduce the information. So resolution is one of the mechanism which is used for the inference. Okay, and it is very interesting point is that it is based on the proof of contradiction. Let's understand some rules of the resolution. Okay, now resolving means what? You are taking two at a time. You are taking two sentences together. Okay, if these two sentences contradict each other, then those sentences will get cancelled and you will receive the empty clause. If you are receiving empty clause, then it means that whatever thing you have assumed is the wrong thing. Okay, so method of resolution always starts with the proof of contradiction, the one which they ask us to prove that we assume it is wrong, and then with the existing facts we try to prove the given contradiction. So now you can see another examples of resolution where you are resolving the fact P or Q, and here in the second which is P or not Q. So in that case, this Q and this not Q will get cancelled and the fact that is P will remain. Okay, from both sides it's the same fact is we are deriving, so that same fact will remain. Okay, similarly take another example, that is a P or Q and R or not Q. Here also this Q and not Q will get cancelled and this P or R will remain. Okay, so this is what about the method of resolution. Now we will see the examples of the facts, how we can use the resolution with the help of resolution technique. So understand, the first thing is that we have to the first step is we have to convert the given sentence with the help of this syntax into propositional logic. Okay, then we have to apply any rule if it contains like De Morgan's law or any negation or a distributive property. Then second step, we have to convert the given sentence with the help of we have to convert you in the conjunction normal form with the help of these rules. Very interesting rule is this, where P implies Q is nothing but the not P or Q. That this rule is widely used. Okay, you can see here P implies Q. This also, with this term also we can simplify not P or Q. Q implies Q, that is not Q or P. And then we have to apply the method of resolution, which is purely based on the proof of contradiction. We have the thing which they ask us to prove, we have to assume it is not true. Okay, that take that negation term and the same fact, take same fact for the resolving. Okay, if you get the empty clause, it means that your assumption is wrong. Okay, so please see the next video where I have explained the examples with the help of resolution method. Thank you.